Hey guys, it's Bethany, your crafty BFF. And as you can see, today we are up close and personal because I have been making flowers. Lots and lots of flowers. I was in the car all day because Madison had an appointment at the Cleveland Clinic and it's a 4-hour drive one way. So 8 hours in the car, and my husband drove and I made flowers. So I posted on Instagram, and a few people said they would like a tutorial. So that's what we're doing today. And these flowers, I like last night. I cut out a whole bunch of them. This is the rose petal flower die from Scrap Diva Designs. I actually have two sets of it because when I make flowers, I make a bunch of them. And I like this one because it comes with three sizes: small, medium, and large, and it comes with three of each. So three small, three medium, three large. Um, Today we are going to make two different kinds of flowers. Um, well, we're going to make this. Hold on. We're going to make these kind of flowers. Um, and you can make them in different sizes, and there's two different ways you can make them. Um, let me let me put a disclaimer out there. I am not an expert by any means. I just am showing you how I make my flowers, and I give all the credit to Caroll over at Caroll's Craft Cottage here on YouTube. I will link the video that I first learned from and go back to all the time to refresh my memory. um, because that's where I got how to make these flowers, and I'm not about to take any credit. We're gonna make the second flower we're gonna make are these little cabbage roses. These are the two flowers I make. I don't make any other kind, and as you can see, you can change them up quite a bit by the paper that you use. Um, I like to use shimmer paper. This is, oh, I'm sorry, I'm shedding hair and I have glue on my flowers. Oh my goodness, I'm a mess. Anyways, I like to use shimmer paper, but that does get costly, so I don't do it all the time. But these three are some different white shimmer papers that I have. Um, this is just a plain pink 65-pound cardstock. I recommend not going any heavier than 65 pound, because you want to be able to manipulate the paper and break the fibers down with your little molding tools, and you want them to have like that kind of wrinkly look because that's what petals look like in real life. You know, they're not perfectly straight. They have curves and whatnot. So anyways, we're gonna make these two kinds of flowers today, and I'm hoping it's not going to be a super long video, but knowing me, it will be. um, I picked up these embossing tools at there. It came in a 3-pack. I can't find the third one. I think I might have left it in the car. um, but this came in a 3-pack from Hobby Lobby, and it was in the drawing section, believe it or not. I've been using this thicker pointer ball. What do they call it? A dotting tool or a score tool, you know. That's all it is. And so I've been using this thicker one, but before I got these, I'm gonna be honest, I used um this score tool from the Dollar Tree, and I think it works just as well. So there's that. Now this is my horribly messy, horribly disgusting um foam pad that comes from McGill. I ordered this on Amazon. I've had it for quite some time now, and when you make flowers, the paper, the fibers break down, some of the little shreds of paper come off, and you get glue everywhere when you're making your flowers. So forgive me for it being dirty, but I don't know how to clean it up and I'm not interested in it. So bear with me. And let's go ahead and get started. I will link Caroll's video in the description. If I forget, please someone remind me, because she, in her little tutorial, she makes 6 different flowers with the same dye, and 2 of them are the ones I'm going to show you today, but I thought I can go ahead and do just the 2 flowers, and it'll be a lot shorter, and hopefully, more people will go watch her video as well if they want to learn how to make other kinds of flowers. So this first one, this simple one, not the rose, but this one. What I do with this one is I take just 3 of the same size petals. And I don't want to confuse you, so we're going to start with this one. So what you do is you see these have embossing lines on the front of the petal. So the back side of the petal, you can still see some of the embossing lines, but the side that's not supposed to be embossed is the back of it. And so we're going to flip them, all 3 petals, over to the back. And what we're going to do is take our little score tool, stylus, dotting tool, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to start just with 1 petal, and you're just going to make little circular motion like that on each petal. I hope you can see that okay. I try to stay out of the way of the camera. But on each petal, you're just making a circle-like motion, and I do it like, I don't know, 5 or 6 seconds for each petal. It doesn't need much. See, and it starts to curl the petals up. Let me hold it like this so you can see. It was flat, and now it's starting to curl up. Like so. So we're going to do that for all 3 flower petals. Just on each little petal, do this little circular motion with your stylus to get the leaves to bend upward. It's a tedious process, but if you do, I find if you do it like a like factory style, where you get all your die cutting done, and then you separate them into sizes, and then you just do this one part, and then move on to the next step, all in one part. I think it goes a lot faster. Okay, so anyways, we did that to the back of the flowers, right? Now we're going to flip them back over to the front. And in the middle, we are going to use our stylus and do that same circular motion in the middle to bring these petals up this way now. So it was flat. Then we made the petals come up like that. Ooh, sorry. Like that. And then we flipped it over to the front, and we do the circular motion just in the middle, and that makes them raise up like so. Can we see that? Okay. Now let's do this last one. I'm going to flip it to the front of the flower now, and just do that circular motion in the middle. Now we don't want this little piece here in the middle of the flower, because we use these holes to line it up and make sure that it's nice and straight. Let me see if I can get a little closer down. And I don't know if you know this, but on like if you're watching YouTube on your phone, you can do like that pinching motion to make a video bigger to zoom in more so that you can see exactly what is happening in the video. So if you didn't know that, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna get my glue. She's ready to go. And with one of the petals, I'm just using my Barely Arts right now, and just put a little dab there in the middle. And the most important part of flower making, in my opinion, is that hair again, sorry. I'm shedding like a dog. Um the most important part of making paper flowers is making sure that you offset the petals. So you don't want to like lay the petals right on top of each other. You want to offset them. So turn it a little bit so that this petal is in between these two petals. And that will make sure that they're all offset and the petals are not laying right over each other. I use my little stylus to press down just a little bit to get that glue to stick. And it should look like that. And then I take my third petal here, set of petals, add more glue, and just set this down. Making sure that these petals are offset from the second set of petals, if that makes sense. Use my little stylus tool to help me position it, like so. And then once that glue has had a second to sit and get a little tacky, you take your stylus and you just press down there in the middle to get all these petals to raise up like that. And then she should look like that. Okay, so that's that flower, and I'm going to show you a second version of this flower. Sorry, I have a pin on my hand. With different size petals, because I think it looks about the same, but just a little bit different, and we all want variety in our lives, right? Okay, so there's that guy. This next one, we're going to do 2 mediums and a small. Now you can do okay, I don't want to confuse you, but you can do 2 mediums and a small. You could do 2 larges and 1 medium. You could do 1 large, 1 medium, 1 small. In fact, that's what I did with this one. The largest is on the bottom, the medium is in the middle, and the smallest is on top. And this one is a small, medium, and large. Or no, this is a small, medium, and large, and this is I think this is 3 large and a medium. So you can do it in different sizes and just see what you like the best. But like I said, I think one of the simplest ways is just to do 3 of the same size, and then you get a small flower, and then you can do 3 of the mediums and have a medium flower, and 3 of the largest and get a large flower. Okay, so now we're going to do this version where we have 2 of the mediums and 1 small. And we're doing this exact same thing. Okay, so we're laying them on so that we're working on the back of the flower petals. And we're doing the circular motions. There's the first one. There's the second one. And then the smallest one. You're doing the exact same motion. Circular on every petal. And then we're going to flip them circle in the middle. Flip it, circle in the middle. And it helps if you can knock that little piece of paper from the hole in the middle out. And the third one, flip it and circle. And we're going to add our glue to the first petal. Very important. Make sure that the petals are offset from each other so they're not laying over each other directly. And then you're going to take the small one and do the same thing and just make sure the petals are not overlapping. You want to offset them. That's what makes the paper flowers look the most realistic, in my opinion. So you can see there's not a huge difference other than the size, because these are 2 mediums and a small, and then this is 3 small ones. Not a big difference, but just a little bit, and it just depends on your preference, what you think looks best. Before we move on to the rose, I want to talk about in Caroll's video. She teaches you how to ink flower petals that you would ink them before you start molding them with the stylus. She teaches you how to use a finger dauber to just ink the centers of each flower using Distress Oxides. She also talks about using glitter or stickles on your flowers to after you've formed them. You can add glitter to the petals or stickles to, it takes them to a whole nother level. And I don't do any of this, but I was just thought I would throw it in there that if you watch Caroll's video, that's what she shows you. She shows you different ways to take these different flowers. Like I said, she has 6 different flowers and shows you different things you can use as centers. So I thought I would show you that these are the centers I use all the time now. These are just like little metal. They're metal pieces, and I get these on Temu for dirt cheap, and they just look like this. And then that's that part, and then the little gem in the middle is actually from Hobby Lobby. Of course, I can't find them now. Goodness gracious. Where are they? I just had them out, guys. I just had them out. Oh, there they are. Okay. I'm sorry I don't have like the paper, and this is like dusty, but you can get these in the jewelry section at Hobby Lobby. They're just clear gems with little backs on them. And I use my little pick-me-up tool that has glue all over it. I'm a mess. I'm such a messy crafter. Hey, I'm real, okay? You get nothing but real with me. So this is like the little pick-me-up tool. I use these to put the little centers in. I use hot glue to glue these into the center of the flowers. Sorry, I keep hitting this. I have 0 depth perception, okay? So I'm sorry about that. Especially up close like this. If you don't want to go this route, okay, there are dies that make the little stamens. Someone sent me these die cuts. I can't remember who. I'm sorry. But I just ordered this die on AliExpress, so it's coming soon. I think it's from KS Craft. You can use just plain old enamel dots as the middle. You can use fancy sparkly gems, big ones, small ones, um, like some flat backs like these that have the texture on them, you know, like the faceted look, or the smoother look, like just the rounded, smooth flat backs like that. There's so many different options, and it can give you so many different looks. Um, Nouveau drops. You can use your Wink Stella to add some sparkle. I've seen people use diamond dots as like the little prills in the middle. Caroll has actual prills. I don't know where she gets them, but they're called prills, and they're like just these little tiny balls that you can put in the center of flowers. I've seen people do seed beads. You could do sequins, those little foam balls from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby. Some people cut them in half and use just half of those foam balls. The options are endless, and then they even have like those long fake flower stamens. Caroll has some of those in her video as well, so definitely check out her video because she knows how to make all the flowers. Okay, moving on to the rose. Let's get started. We need 3 large petals. We need 2 medium petals. And we need 1 small petal. You're going to need your hot glue gun for this one because you need more control. So here's mine. Dirty and old and messy. Okay. Let's make this as easy as possible. The 3 large petals, do the same thing you did for this other flower. Flip them over to the back. Take your stylus and do your circle motions. Circle, 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 circle. You get the idea, okay? For all the petals. Okay, and then we flip them to the front. Oops, sorry. Bumped it again. It's really close to my hand. And then we're circling in the middle. Bringing those petals up towards the center. Like so. Now, you can set those aside. And for your medium and your small, okay, we're going to flip them all to the back. Just like normal. And we're going to do our circles. I didn't flip that one over. Okay. Now it's flipped over to the back. I'm doing the circles. We do need to get those little dots out of the center. That's an easy way to do it. Okay. And here's our smallest one. Okay. Now instead of flipping these over to the front like we would do on the other petals, we're just going to do our circular motion here on the same side that you circled all these petals. So don't flip it over. Circle your petals. Don't flip it over like that tried to do. And circle right here in the middle. And that's going to make them all come up to the center like that. So it's more like a cup. From the side, it looks like that. Maybe like that. Okay. Do that to your other medium one. Don't flip it over. Just keep doing your circles there in the middle. And it brings it up to a nice cup. And then this one as well. The small one as well. Okay. Now we're at this point, and what we're going to do is open up our little flower, and we're going to use our hot glue. If you want to use tweezers to hold your flower petal, go right ahead if you feel safer that way. You do you. I'm just going to do this, okay? And we need the hot glue to hold quickly and, just have more control. So I'm going to put glue on all petals, like in this star-like shape, and I'm only going up about 3/4 of the way of the petal, not all the way to the top. And then before it cools, you want to cup it all up like so. I'm not the best at this. Carol's way better. But you get the idea. So you have a little bud. I can't even get a hold of it. Like a little bud. Okay. And then we're going to do the same to the two medium. Now I hit it with my glue gun. Let me move this up a little bit. Maybe. Okay. We're going to add the hot glue about 3/4 of the way up each petal. I kind of make like a star-like shape inside of the flower, like that. And then I'm going to take my little bud from the first petal. I'm going to offset the petals inside each other like that, and then bring this up before the glue dries. And our bud gets a little bit bigger. Oh. And then lastly, for our second medium petal, we're going to do the same thing, about 3/4 of the way up the petal, and make a star-like shape inside the flower. So you get each petal. And then you're going to take your growing bud. You're going to make sure the petals are offset from one another and that it's in the middle. Look at that. Okay, there we go. And that it's in the middle. And bunch it up like that. Now what's in there? What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay. I done messed this one up, so I'm gonna redo it. I pulled it out because I thought there was dirt in there or something. I don't know. I think it's just from the glue. I think it was a glob of glue or something. But it was getting on my nerves. Okay. Here's that small one. We'll redo this because I messed it up. In fact, yeah, let's just go ahead and redo this part. I'm sorry, guys. But I'm 29 minutes in this video and I'm not starting over. Okay, we have our 3 large petals that we made like that. We have our 2 medium and our 1 small. I'm sorry, guys. I am far from perfect. I mess up all the time. And I don't know how to edit videos, but even if I did, I think I would keep this in here so you can see that everybody messes up. No one's perfect. I think more crafters should leave their mistakes in their videos. As long as it doesn't confuse you. God, I hope it doesn't confuse you. Okay, so we're doing our circles on the back of our petals again. And then we circle right into the middle. We're not flipping these over because these are the little bud of the rose. Right? Okay. There we go. And start with your small one. And we're doing our glue about 3/4 of the way up each petal. And then you want to bring them up together, offsetting them, and bring them into like a little cup so it looks like a rosebud, a little flower bud. Yes, yes, okay. Then you're taking the medium size, doing the same thing, putting the hot glue up to about 3/4 of the way up the petals. You're going to take your little bud and put it right inside the medium sized one and cup it up. Make sure you're offsetting the petals so that it looks nice and layered, like so. I'm going to show you different angles. Okay, and then we do the same thing with the third. And then we will move on to show you the rest of the flower. I hope nobody's upset that I had to restart that. But life is life, right? I appreciate your patience. So there, I did the same thing. I put that bud into the middle of the third petal we were working with, and now we have this big plump bud, like so. Now, as far as these 3 large petals go for the rose, I'm gonna stick with my hot glue because that's what I'm working with now. You can use your wet glue if you'd like, but we're just gonna stack these together like we did for the first flower we did. So you add your glue, you offset your petals, and you set it in there in the middle, like that. I'm going to show you a trick for these hot glue strings too, here in just a minute. So here goes our third one, and I'm just making sure the glue's in the center. I'm offsetting the petals once again. Like I said, most important part of making a flower look realistic is to offset the petals. Well, and the molding. I think the flat flowers don't look realistic at all, you know. So I like the molding and then making sure that the petals are offset and they look so real. I think that even looks like a real rosebud if you ask me. Maybe just with too many glue strings. Okay, now that we have our flower here, their flower base, all we're gonna do is put this bud in the middle of this flower base, like that. So I am going to add my glue here to the center. Probably don't need that much, but you know. I'm going to make sure that my petals are offset from the ones behind it. And then I'm going to, while the glue is cooling, I'm going to hold down the middle of the bud and also bring this first layer of petals up towards the center so that it looks like that. There we go. There is what Carol calls a cottage rose, or not a cottage rose, a cabbage rose, because it's got all those layers and that bud looks like a cabbage head. I think it's gorgeous. And like I said in her video, like she has some where she added glitter and it takes them to a whole an even prettier level. But this is also just simple and beautiful and will make any project pop, I think. So there is my tutorial. I hope that it wasn't too awful to watch. I hope you're able to follow along. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I can walk you through a step if you need, or even make a follow up video if it's helpful. Um, Make sure you check out Caroll's videos. Like I said, I learned from her, and all the credit goes to her. And you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.